The crowd roared as the ball flew high into the sky, glowing against the setting sun. The ball smacked into Jack's glove. The game was over. They had won. As his team cheered around him, he looked at the ball in his hand. How could something so small and light take such hard hits and still fly so far? He thought about its journey. Leather stitched tight, a strong core inside, every part made to last. Ever wonder how a baseball, the heart of America's favorite pastime, is made? In today's video, we're going behind the scenes at a factory to show you how baseballs are carefully crafted from start to finish. Get ready for a fun behind the scenes look at how baseballs are made in the factory. But here's the twist. After all that work, you might be surprised at what really makes a great baseball. While it's hard on the outside, the inside has something softer. Stay tuned to find out, and make sure to smash that subscribe button to enjoy more exciting content like this. Alright, let's break down what goes into making a baseball. Starting with its most important part, the core. A baseball may seem simple, but it's made up of several key materials: rubber, yarn, leather, and thread that all come together to create a ball that's perfect for the game. The quality of every material that goes into a baseball is crucial, and here's why. It directly impacts how the ball is when you're out there playing. Think about it. Every pitch, every hit, every catch relies on the ball being just right. From the moment it leaves the pitcher's hand to the instant it smacks against the bat, the materials inside the baseball need to work together seamlessly. And trust me, it's no accident. Every little detail, from the exact mix of rubber to how the yarn is wound around the core, ensures the ball meets the standards that make it what I call game ready. This isn't just some random process. It's a carefully crafted system designed to give players the consistency they need to perform at their best. So the next time you throw a pitch or swing for the fences, just remember, all that precision, all that attention to detail is what makes the baseball the true star of the game. At the heart of the baseball is the pill, which is the rubber core. This is the part that gives the ball its weight, bounce, and durability. Without it, the baseball wouldn't be able to perform the way we expect. But wait a minute, what's this pill and what's so special about it? Turns out that the pill isn't made from just regular rubber. It's a blend of rubber mixed with other chemicals and additives that make it strong and able to handle the pressure of the game. The rubber mix is designed to withstand high impact forces and provide the correct level of elasticity needed for the ball's bounce. One of the key ingredients is carbon black, which is a type of fine black powder added to make the rubber more durable. This helps the ball last longer, even with all the wear and tear from being thrown, hit, and caught. But that's not all. There are also resins and curing agents mixed in to make sure the rubber has the right consistency. These ingredients help the rubber stay firm but not too stiff, giving the pill the right feel. The consistency ensures the pill doesn't lose its shape or bounce over time, providing a consistent performance for players. Once the mixture is ready, it's placed into a mold and heated under pressure. This process, called curing, hardens the rubber into a solid pill. The pill has to be perfectly round and smooth, because if it's mishapen, the ball will bounce unpredictably. A mishapen core could mess with the ball's performance, making it harder to hit, throw, or catch. Precision in shaping and curing the pill is essential to maintaining the expected behavior of the ball during a game. So, the rubber core is the foundation of the baseball. It's what gives the ball the right bounce, weight, and durability. And without that perfectly made pill, you wouldn't have a baseball that performs the way we expect. Alright, now that we've got our rubber pill sitting pretty at the center of the baseball, it's time for one of the most crucial and honestly kind of fun steps in the process: the winding. This is where the baseball starts to look and feel like the ball we all know and love. It's like the ball is getting its muscle and structure ready to take on the world of fastballs, curveballs, and monster home runs. Now, what is used to wrap these babies? What makes the ball tough and rigid for the ground? So here's where it goes down. Yarn gets tightly wrapped around the rubber core, layer by layer. That's right, yarn. Who would have thought? But don't think of this as some of grandma's knitting yarn. Oh no, this stuff is made of a super tough mixture of cotton and polyester. This special yarn is strong, durable, and ready to stand up to all the hits, throws, and high-level action that come with a baseball game. It's got to be elastic enough to stretch and bounce, but not too stiff, because if it's too stiff, well, good luck trying to throw or hit a ball with any kind of accuracy. Now, let's talk about the machine that does all the winding. The machine has to apply just the right amount of tension while it wraps. Too tight, and the ball's like a rock. Way too stiff to throw or hit with any power. Too loose, and you've got yourself a floppy, sad excuse for a baseball. But when that perfect tension is dialed in, you've got the perfect mix of bounce and resilience, just the way the pros like it. As the ball spins and the yarn gets wrapped, it forms a crisscross pattern, which is super important. This crosshatch design isn't just for looks. It helps the ball keep its shape, adding structure and resistance so it can take a hit or a throw without falling apart. It also plays a huge role in making sure the ball stays solid and true to its form, whether it's flying through the air after a lightning-fast pitch or taking a solid thwack off a batter's swing. The crisscross pattern also ensures that the baseball doesn't start to feel lopsided or weird as you play with it. Consistency is key after all. By the time the winding process is complete, you've got a firm, slightly flexible ball that's perfectly round. It's got that ideal bounce, just enough to keep it fun and exciting, but sturdy enough to survive the game. Thanks to the yarn layers, the baseball now has the durability and resilience to withstand those 100-mile-per-hour pitches and powerful bat smashes. And once the winding's done, well, the ball is ready to move on to the next stage of its journey toward being a full-fledged game day superstar. Every turn of yarn brings it one step closer to becoming the ball that will help win the game. Any guesses on what the next step might be? Comment your guesses down below. Now that we've got the core of the baseball locked down, it's time to talk about one of the most iconic and frankly coolest parts of the ball, the leather cover. This is where the baseball gets its signature look, and trust me, it's not just for style points. The leather is crucial for how the ball performs on the field. It's strong enough to handle fastballs and hard hits, but still flexible enough for players to grip it like a pro. Now let's talk leather. Most baseballs are wrapped in cowhide leather because it's tough, yet pliable, perfect for the high-stakes action of the game. Some companies even use synthetic leather for their balls, but the real-deal cowhide is where it's at. The leather is cut into two perfectly symmetrical pieces, and they've got to be just right, because if one piece is off, your baseball might end up looking like a squished pancake instead of a sleek, game-ready ball. But before the leather gets sewn on, it has to go through a special conditioning process. Think of it like the leather getting a little spa day. It's softened up, but not so much that it loses its strength. Oils and obviously some other magical treatments are rubbed in to help the leather resist wear and tear. Because let's face it, baseballs take a beating. This conditioning also gives the leather that perfect, consistent feel so players can grip the ball without being too stiff like a dry sponge or too slippery like an ice cube. Once the leather's all pampered and ready to go, it's time for the real action: stitching. The two leather pieces are sewn together with durable cotton thread. But there's a very interesting fact about this stitching. Well, I'm sure we know that stitching keeps the leather from falling apart, but it defines the ball. And how many stitches are we talking about here? Not 10, not 20. A standard baseball has 108 double stitches. Yup, you heard that right, 108. Each one is placed with precision because every stitch affects how the ball behaves when it's thrown, hit, or caught. The stitching's tension is key here too. If the stitching is too tight, it can make the leather too stiff, and if it's too loose, the ball might fall apart mid-game. Kind of awkward, right? So the exact tension, the height of the seams, and how tightly those stitches are sewn all come together to give the ball its grip, spin, and speed. Once that stitching is all done, the ball is just about ready for the final touches. It's firm, it's sleek, it's got that perfect leather shine, and it's now ready to hit the field. So next time you see a baseball soaring through the air or being slammed out the park, just remember the leather isn't just for looks. It's the game changer that helps make the magic happen. All right, we're almost there. The baseball is stitched, it's looking sharp, and it's ready for one last crucial step: the inspection. It's the ultimate check to make sure every baseball is ready to step up to the plate. Because let's face it, if a baseball doesn't meet the right standards, things could go south real fast. Imagine trying to pitch a baseball that bounces like a trampoline or spins like a confused top. Yeah, no thanks. So what happens during inspection? First, the ball gets a thorough once-over. Workers check every little thing: the stitching, leather, the core. Nothing gets past them. If there's even the tiniest flaw, the ball gets sent back to the drawing board. Even a little mishap in the stitching could throw off how the ball feels when you catch it or mess with a pitcher's perfect throw. Attention to detail is everything here. Once it passes the visual inspection, it's time for the bounce test. This is where the ball's resilience gets tested in the most scientific way possible. The ball is dropped from a specific height and the bounce is measured. If it bounces too high, it's like playing with a rock. And if it barely bounces at all, it's more like a soggy sponge. The goal? The perfect, just right bounce. Not too stiff, not too squishy, kind of like Goldilocks would say, just right. Next up, we check the weight. A regulation baseball is supposed to weigh between 5 and 5.25 ounces, and its circumference should be about 9 inches. That's some serious precision. The team uses high-tech tools to measure each ball to make sure it's within those exact measurements. A baseball that's too heavy or too light could totally mess with how it's thrown or hit. So yeah, the scale doesn't lie. Finally, it's time for the spin test. This is where the ball's ability is put to the test. The way a baseball spins can make or break a pitch, whether it's a curveball, slider, or fastball. The seams, the stitching tightness, the leather grip, all these factors influence how the ball spins. So they give each baseball a spin test to make sure it reacts exactly as it should when it's thrown. Once it passes all these tests, the baseball is officially ready for action. It's reliable, it's consistent, and it's game day ready. Thanks to the thorough inspection process, every baseball is guaranteed to behave just like it's supposed to. So the next time you're watching a game, you can rest easy knowing that the ball you're seeing on the field is as perfect as it gets. All right, ladies and gents, the moment we've all been waiting for, the final step. Once each baseball has passed all its quality control checks and is ready to shine, it's time for the packaging and shipping process. This is where things get real serious. These baseballs get carefully packed, labeled, and prepped for their journey to stadiums, little league fields, or even your local sporting goods store. Each ball is treated like royalty because, hey, they've earned it after all that stitching, testing, and inspection. And off they go. From the factory floor, these beauties are shipped all over the world, heading out to every game, practice, and tournament imaginable. Whether it's a weekend youth league match or a nail-biting major league showdown, these baseballs are ready to play their part. The journey may seem like it's over once the baseball leaves the factory, but hold on, folks, there's more. As technology advances, so does the baseball itself. That's right, we're talking about next-level baseballs. Manufacturers are always tinkering, tweaking, and innovating to make sure the balls of tomorrow are even better than the ones we have today. We're talking about improved materials, smarter construction, and even more advanced designs. Think about it. Every time you see a pitch zoom by or a hit fly into the stands, there's some cool tech and innovation behind that ball. So while your baseball might be headed to your glove right now, behind the scenes, the game is always evolving. Even though making a baseball might seem pretty straightforward, it's not a one-and-done process, whether you're playing in the backyard or watching the pros slug it out. So the next time you catch a ball or hit a home run, just remember the work never stops behind the scenes. The future of baseball is always right around the corner. And who knows, maybe the next baseball will be even cooler than the one you're holding today. So folks, time for the big reveal. How many days does it take for all these processes to finally produce a field-ready ball? It's 10 days. Can you imagine a simple ball, but so much work goes into it? And there you have it, the process of making a baseball from start to finish. Every baseball that lands in a major league stadium or on a little league field has been through this meticulous process, ensuring it meets the high standards required for the sport. Every pitch, every hit, and every catch is possible because of the craftsmanship that goes into creating each and every baseball. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below letting us know which other manufacturing process you'd like to see, and we'll catch you in the next one.